just based on how the match happened before. But please believe me when I say, especially while using this costume, you don't want this was a very unsuccessful thing to do to Zeph post like Belial at Evo 2012 or whatever.
12, yeah.
It's like the only time I've ever seen him lose to Mitsu. Ends up getting the RE off of the 6A plus B. I actually have no idea how this matchup would normally go. Something tells me it's going to be very similar to what we had seen before, where it's going to be a lot of Zeph just trying to like out-damage him in this way. That has got to be like the 4th or 5th time he tried to do a 2-2B. It's a shame that Nowo underestimated Zeph's stubbornness.
Yeah, it's definitely I always have to like look for it.
We are talking about faster buttons, but not as much damage from Sophi. So it looks like Zeph is trying to pepper him with just enough to where he's going to force Nowo to run into a variety of GIs, which is a very typical Zeph / Sophi just in general like tactic. Oh no, he dropped the combo. He tried to do B plus K again instead of K slide B.
Jeez, like Nowo's like chance to like stay competitive this matchup is just like how well does he take his turns? Which is like the game you kind of have to play because Xephukai just kind of like he's just so oppressive. He just makes it feel like just you don't get to play the game, you don't get a turn.
Yeah.
As I say that, he got a nice little sequence there from Soul Charge and gets a raw Sure Blade. Just,
that was pretty fantastic. And I mean that's just kind of that's kind of the style that you have to take when you play a character that does more damage, right? That's the only way that the game's going to be fair, just in general. Like, imagine Nowo was correct just as often as Zeph was in that just one series. Zeph would be dead.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, no, what happened there? Pretending like this character still has a Brave Edge after 3B. I assume it was a buffered thing, but yeah, it was funny.
You got, like, post-traumatic from, like, 8 years ago. Yeah. it's like, oh shit, not again.
You tried to just guard?
Yeah.
Yeah, these GIs, we didn't really see that many GIs from the Mina matchup, but you can tell that, like, because Zeph is dealing with a character that's significantly faster and potentially much scarier once he's up close, he's not necessarily mashing tech crouches anywhere near as much, and he's going with more GIs to try and stop the pressure.
Yeah, which is a smart way to go, because mids and mids can be pretty, they can hurt a lot, just as much as... Oh, but that's first blood for Xephukai game 1.
I think what Nowo, well, if he decides to stick with Mitsu, what he has to realize is Zeph is going to force him to play this really small game, which means that you shouldn't really be going for, like, the gigantic mix-ups. You should be going with just trying to... Okay, never mind. But I think if you were to have stayed with Mitsu, I think you should have either tried to back up and do whiff punishes more often, which probably wouldn't have been that successful against Zeph just because he's Zeph. But I think the other way is to just play as fast as Zeph is in terms of just small pokes and just have to get good enough to, like, bait out the GIs just like Zeph is.
Well, with this Mina switch, it is going to be hard to go as fast as Zeph, so he's going to probably just stick to the backstep gameplay and just try to catch his approaches, which that worked pretty well that time. But you still got that 2-2B he's got to look out for. It's just such an annoying tool to like have to think about and have to challenge.
Didn't get a particularly good stage either. He doesn't really have much room to walk. And yeah, it just really seems like maybe these guys have played... Oh, there's the duck, and perfect punish as well. It just really seems like Zeph is having such an easy time just running through this guy. Like, he's having I guess they've played before or something like that, or he just has so much experience with this kind of a character that he's just very used to dealing with somebody where he has to be going... I really feel like he's effectively treating Mina as if it's, like, as well in acts all the time. Like, not worrying about punishes literally at all, just pressing buttons, just trying to enforce some sort of a really fast game plan the whole time. It makes sense. It makes sense for what you're supposed to do against this character, because the second that you allow Mina just to get even just the guard damage that she can get, I mean, you're up shit's creek.
Yeah, just rush down in Mina's face and, give yourself the confidence that, like, you have, like, so much room to, like, disrespect the frame disadvantage if you have to, and we see that coming a lot from Xephukai. He pushes even though he's that frame disadvantage, and he can still cover his gaps with, like, evasion, 2-2B, and auto GI. Such a really annoying, but Nowo, that's 2 straight rounds so far, so
And it's also important to note that one of the other side effects of this kind of game plan is that it's forcing Nowo to sacrifice the stuff that he actually wants to do, like such as mix-ups and get guard damage and stuff like that. Walk away and do 2-2-Bs to the point where he's just doing 3-Bs like that. Where it's like he's even doing a 3-B when his opponent's at -12, where it's really only going to be covering just a small amount of things. It looks like Nowo is probably going to get this game. Isn't going to get the wall bounce, and he's going to have to deal with Mina Soul Charge. So now it's a matter of like, okay, here we go.
Wow. Oh wow, that's a big bet from
Is that it?
Makes it look like a setup. That's a 1K for the win. Oh, he catches the run counter, so he's trying to move there. A little panic.
That's so scary too. He did that little backstep first, because I thought it was going to be a 1K, and then he backstepped, and I essentially did the exact same thing that Nowo did. Oh, it's going to be a 1K. Oh, he backstepped. It's not going to be a 1K. Oh, it is.
yeah. Xephukai really good at mixing with his timings, but that's a Sung Mina Soul Charge. That's a Sung Mina CE. That's a Sung Mina Game 1 win.
You deserve to lose that game. you went out of your way to make sure that you lost. That every time that you got up, you tried to press a button. It's like the one thing that Nowo was trying to beat.
Sometimes when you feel yourself, you fear yourself. But that is like the one strength that like Nowo does have on this Mina is like once he gets a knockdown, then it's like he can essentially minimize the amount of like disrespectful stuff that Xephukai can do. I mean, yeah, he can like wake up stab, he can wake up like 2-2-B, but as you saw in those last couple seconds of that last round, if Nowo chooses his moves correctly, then he basically just kind of like beat out most of his options from wake up.
Yeah, for the most part, I feel like even though he lost that game, I definitely feel like Zeph is still in the correct game plan. He's still dictating the pace. He's effectively forced Nowo to choose options that are not mix-uppy at all, don't do anywhere near as much damage as the stuff that Mina actually wants to do, and it's keeping Nowo from actually playing the game the way in which Mina excels, as opposed to Sophi. So all Zeph really has to do is alter it ever so slightly to actually take advantage of the fact that Mina's playing suboptimally, and he'll be gold. Now, if he loses the second game, I would say that we might be able to have a match.
Oh, and I think that is a match. I mean, he's continuing the strong pressure game, like you said, but like Nowo just kind of stuck to his own game plan, continuing the backstep, just get these like pokes in, these small block punishes, as small as they are. Eventually, he gets set up for like a big whip punish, or just catches Xephukai just push on frame disadvantage, and just kind of chooses his counter pokes like pretty well, pretty correctly. And all that damage just adds up because he just needs one knockdown and like Nowo can just like run away from the game. But until like while Xephukai like still has his like feet like on the ground, then like Nowo is just continuing the backstep. He's gonna stay defensive and he's gonna continue looking for those like punish options.
Yeah, it seems like overall Nowo's game plan hasn't necessarily been forced to adapt as much as I would have expected. It just seems like his overall game plan is just getting significantly more effective. I'm not entirely sure. I can't tell just based on the match what's been going on through the opponent's heads as to why the match is happening the way that it's happening. And that's rare of me to say. Alright, so Zeph ends up getting his first round, but I'm still not convinced either way. I can't tell. It's not very often that I get perplexed by matches like this, so I'm very confused. I wonder what's going on. Ooh, nice duck. It just seems like Nowo is just guessing correctly significantly more often.
So one adjustment Xephukai is making, like he's trying to throw in like a couple more throws, but it's having variable results. Like they're not all like quite landing because Nowo has his like twitch ducks like pretty well, and even if he gets touched by a grab, it's still a 50-50 break opportunity, and not every throw is successful. But like all these pokes, just like 2 A checks, and just pushing frame advantage when he knows Xephukai is gonna try to like turn steal, might be costing Xephukai more rounds than he prefers.
That was, you see how in that soul charge setup, the one that you almost 100% definitely have to respect, Zeph like ran straight at him and just did a 6-6A, like that blew my mind. But yeah, I definitely feel like Nowo has been able to find this happy medium around doing the kind of backstep stuff that he wants to do, using small buttons to pepper stuff, and most importantly, forcing Xeph to respect Wake Up with stuff like 6-6B and 3B. And he's found like a real perfect menagerie of setups to the point where Xeph just needs to figure out how to be correct significantly more often than he is at the moment. Like he needs to, I don't know. I'm not sure if playing balls to the wall is going to be that effective unless he can come up with something right here, right now. There it is again.
Oh, that 2-2. Wow.
Battle 2. Fight.
Ooh, doesn't necessarily get anywhere near as big of a punish as he could have, but he gets the optimal there. Is he trying to beat out ducks? How does he get Nowo to stop Twitch ducking in the appropriate times? It's pretty easy to get him to stop doing stuff like making you force his wake up and stuff. That's easy, but making it so that his defense. Here we go. So he's getting more. He's catching the 6-6As and the 6-6Bs, and that's gonna be the round.
Now, I don't know if this is going to make a difference, but like Xephukai hasn't tried this yet, and perhaps he could try it a little bit more. But he hasn't tried the idea of just like running into Nowo's face into like a block. So like more dash guards, more playing with his like throw timings, like what certain players like to do, where it's like run up, sidestep, kind of like the Ender's J style when he's like going for like a 3v throw mix-up, where he just kind of like plays it with sidesteps, just gets an angle, just like baits some kind of reaction for his opponent, and if he senses some kind of like poke from his opponent, it's a great ring out. If he senses some kind of poke from his opponent, he would just guard. And if he senses that like they're just continuing to guard, that's the time when he's gonna go for like a 3v or a guard mix, throw mix up. So what Xephukai is doing is just like, I guess he's just playing with the idea that like, Mina has like such a way to like push you back or like get like guard damage, where like, once Xephukai is close, he feels that he needs to do something, right away. He has no time to like play with his movement. He has no time to like try to bait Nowo to do something. He always goes for a button, and that could get himself, perhaps it could be scary for the side of Xephukai, but it could also like get himself killed, and like it's kind of what we're seeing right now. Nowo is just kind of like getting more of these advantages.
Yeah, that's a reset, right? We're in a true blue grand finals at this point. So yes, I do feel like the adaptations that I'm seeing from Xeph, for one, he doesn't seem to be going for as many grabs. Instead of going for grabs where he feels like his opponent's not going to duck, he's going for 1Ks, which is still unsafe, but it's not as unsafe. He's not necessarily going to be eating as much damage, and he's throwing out significantly more 6-6Bs to try and catch these ducks, especially on the opponent's wake up.
And even if 1K is not going to do as much damage as throw, it's still a way for Xephukai to construct an offense and like start conditioning his opponent, and he could perhaps catch Nowo in a way where like he was starting to fear the 1Ks, and that's when like the 6Bs can come out. So there could be something there. We just have to see this game plan like play out over a longer period of time. Yeah,
overall, I just feel like Xeph is playing the matchup a little bit more tempered than he was before. It just seems like the balls to the wall style was effective for a while, and had he not had to have played in 2 sets, he probably would have come out as the victor, but we can't be for sure anymore.
Yep. And like what we talked about with Xeph so far, like it's still very possible to be aggressive while occasionally like just kind of pumping the brakes.
Yeah, it's just so difficult to find that happy medium because you can only be wrong so many times against Nowo and against Mina just in general. 1A, huh?
Whoa, yeah.
I can't tell what that was supposed to be. Maybe it was supposed to be a 4-4A. Yeah, now the 6-6Bs are getting beat out too. So I feel like he wants to go back to the grabs, but Nowo is just getting these ducks all the time against the grabs. So because he's playing a more tempered kind of thing, we're going to see more guard damage coming out of Mina.
Just all these throw attempts tells me that Xephukai just like really wants to open up Nowo, but like, is that like the play here? Is that like the strategy? Like try to open up someone who's been like pretty strong on the defense so far?
Well, see, that's the thing, right? Is that like he's been doing so many mids, and the mids are getting blocked as well. And so at some point you have to rely that your opponent's a human being and isn't reading your inputs. Like, if I'm Xeph, I'm getting quite frustrated at the concept that all my grabs are getting ducked, because I feel like I am conditioning you to expect to do a block, and that is what you're doing. So, like, I don't know what's going on. Speaking of not knowing what's going on, there's a lot of whiffs going on as the characters are getting up and being brought down again, and they're never going to keep them down.
Speaking of, like, not knowing what's going on, like, what's going on?
Well, now Zeph is just running into a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. So that's going to be 2 bars to 1 for the last round of the first game of the final set in the tournament.
The A's are coming back out. The 1Ks. Yeah, I like that.
It's kind of a big deal that that Zeph isn't getting any mileage out of his soul charge. Ooh. Fantastic hop back.
I do like the 1K game plan, but I can see how it can like turn against him with Noah because like once the 1K lands, like essentially like his turn is done.
Yeah.
And even once it steals turn, like Xephukai is going to like take a defensive risk. And time again, Noah has been able to like kind of get around like Zeph's ability to like steal turns. So like those 1Ks, yeah, like you get a little bit of free damage, but now it's like Noah's turn, and like that feels like kind of scary going against Noah like that.
Noah with the triple Mino Wall Rising B to solidify his first game in the final set. So it looks like Zev's going to go over to X. So he's not going to have as much of a punishing game. But hell, if the opponent's going to be correct about so many things, it's probably good to try and shake it up. And you are going to have a better pressure game potentially. But you are going to have to hit your opponent a lot more often.
Yeah, but like if he feels like he's struggling to like open up his opponent like Sophitia, I think just the wider variety of lows that Xianghua has in her disposal could be like the edge that he needs to like condition Noah better and just kind of like open him up, convince him to duck.
Yeah, not to mention you're also dealing with a character that can take pseudo bets and go into stances that further those bets at a pretty low cost. So he's able to add in additional layers to his offensive pressure at a sacrifice to his punishment. So you're going to see a lot more of this kind of stuff where Zeph's going to end up getting run into a lot of attacks. But once he's in, he'll be potentially more effective. That's the game plan that Zeph seems to be going for.
Yeah, and like landing these lows, he can, like you said, like adding layers to his offensive game plan, that'll kind of like further his game plan. Landing a low is not the end of the story. He can potentially keep going, unlike Sophitia, where his turn essentially ends with the 1K.
I don't actually know if I like him going for the combo that breaks 2 pieces of the stage, because now I think that Mina has the ability to do 1 wall bounce into a ring out. I might be mistaken, but I think that she's better at that than Mina is.
If Xephukai reacted just a bit sooner, he did have the backstep, he did have the whip punish, but we're just not ready for that CE to close out the round. So nothing happened there until like Noah started to press buttons, and then he kind of stole that round away from Xephukai. But chalk it up to a bunch of different factors, but the results are what they are. I still like the Xianghua pick a lot.
Man, 4-4K. It's so ridiculous. But you can definitely tell in situations where Zeph used to be going for grabs, he's going for 3A more often, and because the spacing is different, it seems to be significantly more effective. Oof. Still not, unfortunately, because again, he has a better mix-up game, his media attacks are significantly worse than they were when he was playing Sophi. So, you're going to have to deal with a no-woe that's going to feel a little bit more flexible with his movement. That is not what he wanted.
Yeah. And not to mention, like you said earlier, it's like Xianghua does have to hit her opponent a lot more, and Mina can be just like a monster truck of damage. So like just being wrong once during your set play as Xianghua can spell disaster if like Noah can like find a punish, and that means like knockdown. That could mean like potential guard break 40%, 25%. So damage disparity is quite there, but like you said, Xephukai does have like multiple layers in his offensive mix-ups now, and it could push him into a game 1 or game 2 win.
Yeah, 2 bars to 1 though. You're gonna have to deal with double Mina soul charge. He's got 1 bar of his own. He's making the first one pretty nullified. So that's wow, ends up catching that too. But he does get a little bit of from the 1B.
Yeah, a little bit of return on investment. Still got a meter to go.
Ooh, it looks like Nowo is trying to cut some of the pressure with some of these 2As, and he's doing it at the perfect time where he wasn't doing it at all before, and now when like the chips are down, he's really trying to pull it off. It looks like Zeph is trying to be weird with X Soul Charge because there's a good chance that he doesn't have any experience with it, but he just throws out a good Mina button that's really wide and very difficult to evade, and Zeph ends up running right into it. It's a lot. It's very, very much the tail of the tape of just Zeph ending up running into a lot of a lot of buttons here.
Now, whatever Xephukai sticks with now, whether it's the Sophitia or the Xianghua. Okay, I'm
Xianghua. We get it, you're Chinese, okay.
God damn it. I mixed everything up.
Yeah.
Xianghua. He goes with the Sophitia, and he's gonna... This is all in now, so... has to be 3 games straight on the Sophitia.
Alright, looks like he's going back to his original game plan. Maybe maybe the Xianghua was just as like a palate cleanser, so that maybe Noah would forget. Okay, he's finally getting those gigantic lethal hits as a punish, as opposed to like the wall rising B that he was getting before. So it looks like Noah's feeling even more comfortable than he was previously.
Matches lethal hit for lethal hits. Xephukai did get that round 1, but very, very close there.
Oof. These 6-6Bs were doing nothing in winners finals, and they are money in grand finals. Oh, Zeph.
Yeah.
No, come on. Play the game. Play Soul Calibur. Come on. It's fun sometimes. Fuck. This is what you get. You should have gone for the ring out, Zeph. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, on the one hand, Xephukai like, wait, he's not going to punish these? Might as well go for it again. But then, like, yeah, that was a Simina ring out, jeez.
Ooh, decided to go for him. I can't tell if that was an input error or not. Yeah, I just feel like Zeph is just having such a tough time understanding the defense of Noah. He's just, it's so difficult to try and get him to block incorrectly. There's so many kicks.
Yeah, and like the delayed get up from Xephukai is also like not throwing Noah off at all. It helps that Mina has like such a good Oki game, but that's kind of like Zephukai's thing, right? Just like just the special get ups that get him free damage. But yeah, it must be frustrating that it's like not working on Noah.
Alright, here we go with Mina Soul Charge. Oh, it pops through! Oh, there's so much spaghetti going on. Unfortunately, Noah really felt that he had it, and he really did.
Did he launch Xephukai like before the lightning was able to like be a hitbox? Like,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that meant that the lightning dissipated. That's cool.
I actually like that a lot.
All right, he's got 2 bars. I don't know if he wants to use one to try and win this round.
Oh,
nice!
Great Twitch duck from CE, like showing once again, time and time again, he cannot be thrown and he will punish you.
That was a lightning kick.
Nice.
Yeah, unfortunately, he ends up guessing incorrectly twice, so that's going to give Zeph his first game of the final set. We're at 2-1.
Yeah, Twitch ducking was cool to get him that CE punish, but Twitch ducking into 6-6B,
Well, it was either that or it was going to be grab, right? So, spooky.
Yeah. You know, it's a mix-up, which is a mix-up to the mix-up.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
Welcome to the stage of history retold.
Can Sandman tell me what's that referencing?
Sandman, are you here? He's probably asleep. Just like I should be in my dreams.
Well, it'll be over soon enough if Noah can get this next game.
I guess technically it'll be over soon enough either way. We simply have run out of the ability to have more games of Soul Calibur in this tournament.
That is true, but it could be sooner if Noah can
or
win
later.
Right now.
Those are the 2 choices.
I don't know who to give it to, but Smart Money is on Xephukai, but Noah has been doing like a good job, like getting the reset and getting these 2 wins that he's already gotten. It could be a Noah victory, but Xephukai's not going to make it easy for sure.
Yeah, see, these challenges with these 3Bs is such a different story than what we saw in Winners Finals. Who thought about stab, knew it didn't work the last time, so he decided against it. No 3B challenge from Noah. Yep, and once again, try and go for the grab, and he ends up getting stuffed. So this is how I was supposed to beat Zeph. I wasn't aware that I just had to be correct about all things all the time.
And Xephukai mixed it up too. It's like, I'm gonna just go for the 6-6D, and then Mina like stepped it.
And he's right sometimes. It's significantly less than what we normally expect from a character that's fast and pokey. They normally have to be right quite a few times in order to win the round. That's why the buttons do low damage but are so good otherwise. We're not normally expecting somebody to be this correct this often about this many things.
Yeah, but
and now he's on tournament point.
Oh my god, you gotta give it to like the decision making of Noah and just kind of like getting like a pretty good grasp on Xephukai's timings.
Yeah, especially after winners finals to come to
Exactly
this much of a difference is pretty crazy. Oh boy.
Oh, but that's damage. Ooh, what? What's that?
Yeah, that was weird. It looks like he's gonna get this round, except he isn't. Trying to get away from the 2A.
Okay. Guns have kind of slowed down when he has the health lead, but still got some work to do. Does have the meter to work with. Meter 6A?
He's gonna get a really solid ring out here, or a wall combo.
Wall combo, lethal hit. Oh no, lethal.
I think it's just based on how the wall bounces will work.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's getting these wall rising Ks, which leads me to believe that he doesn't feel comfortable with like the gigantic. Wow, 1B caught there. That's very surprising to me.
I guess it was just like a well-timed, just like timed right when Sophitia got back to the ground, but that soul charge is gone, so Xephukai is just gonna close it out. One round away from making it to the final game, but Noah got meter now, so soul charge Sung Mina can be really, really dangerous.
Yeah, Zeph has significantly more Mina, or Sophi has significantly more meter than Mina does. So okay, we're gonna effectively trade bar for bar here, but it looks like Zeph is gonna be able to continue his pressure anyway. That's really tough to deal with. Whew, very scary. Okay, gets the GI. If he didn't get that GI, he was dead. Yeah,
yep.
Now you don't have any meter to try and deal with this. Okay, here we go.
No idea what's gonna happen. Oh, that's a Xephukai win on that RE. That was initiated by Noah, and for the forced guard break, Xephukai takes it to game 5.
Ooh.
Hey guys,
I was about to say this is very impressive from Noah, but the fact that he was, it looks like it's going to be even more impressive from Zeph if he ends up making this comeback.
Just real quick, it is the last game, so everyone make sure you use those promo codes in the Matcherino and the sponsor quest. Let's try to get $10 for this hype ass set. You know, try to hit $200 in the Matcherino.
Battle 1. Fight.
Get those promos in, donations, and you got them. But this is final game, this grand finals.
Really small stage, so I don't really know if this is what Noah wanted. Looks like we're going back to the grabs. It looks like maybe Zeph smells a bit of nervous from Noah because the wall rising punishes before he was still getting them, but he was getting wall rising K as opposed to wall rising B or B plus K.
Oh, but that's danger for Noah. Back against the wall means you're gonna eat a big wall combo. Not that you need all that damage, but good on Xephukai just pushing him all the way to the ring edge when
finally
Noah had
actually
like advantage.
Catching these 3Bs as well. Noah getting a little bit too far extended with some of these challenges because he's used to Zeph going in so much. So now Zeph is finally pulling back just enough to where he can actually get whiff punishes.
And I think Xephukai can be a tad bit more aggressive. He doesn't have to worry about any kind of ring outs. So when he pushes his opponent against the wall, then he's just going to go even harder. So like this is such a good stage for Xephukai. He's playing it so well.
Shades of Link Wars versus me at the last SE5 Winter Brawl, where it's like a really hype set, and then the last game was such a dud because of the stage.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, caught with the jump, sort of. Yeah, it's like literally anywhere that Noah goes, he can't really escape this kind of game plan that Zeph wanted in the first place.
No way out for Noah. I'm not really sure he's even going to live before he gets any meter. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's it, assuming he doesn't screw this up.
Oh no, his gut saves him, but no way for Noah to